I interview a real-life overseas editor today on episode 9 of Real Estate Photography Unlocked.
I'm just trying to get mine, but these agents got me losing my mind. Whatever happened to the good times? Man, forget about it. It's showtime. Let me show you how to get some rest, how to make millions, how to be your best. This is shout out to the REPs, to the shooters, producers, and the newbies. Welcome to our podcast. I'm your rep MC. We're here every week talking real estate photography.
Hello, everyone. Today we have a very special episode of Real Estate Photography Unlocked. We're actually going to be speaking and asking some questions to a real overseas editor based in the Philippines. Now, he has asked to remain anonymous, so we're going to refer to him as John Smith, but he has also agreed to be completely transparent with all of his editing processes, and we've also got a collection of questions we're going to be asking him live here on Real Estate Photography Unlocked. So without further ado, welcome, Mr. Smith. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you for having us, or thank you for being a special guest here. I would like to go ahead and hop in straight to some questions, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself. You don't have to use your name, but we would like to know what country do you work in, and tell us a little bit about your day-to-day.
Okay. I am from the Philippines, and I am almost 7 years in real estate photo editing and 2 years as quality controller. I am in a night shift, and my job starts at 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. But I work every day, like 10 to 12 hours, especially on peak season.
Okay. So you say 10 hours a day.
Yes.
Okay, good. And you start working at 5 p.m. your time?
Yeah, 5 p.m. to 2 p.m. That's 8 hours.
Okay, so 5 p.m. to 2 a.m., you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, so you work all night or late into the night?
Yes, that's true.
So not easy hours there. Now, what do you do the rest of the day? Do you take off and spend it with your family, or do you also do additional work?
I am in work from home setup, and then weekdays I am working, and weekend I am riding my bike.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
all right. What I would love to do, just to qualify you as a legit editor here, so that we know that we're not interviewing some random person,
Okay.
I would love to see you edit a live example of some photos. So I have provided to him 3 photos here, and we're going to see what he can do with that live. So let's go ahead and pull that up. And if you wouldn't mind, Mr. Smith, could you show us what you do on average to images here? And
Okay.
and for the people who are just listening, I would love if you could talk us through it as much as possible.
Okay.
There we go.
Yes, here we go. This is our base photo. Okay. I take only one exposure.
So you do not blend 3 images together into one?
No. As much as possible, I can only use one photo.
Okay, so you do try to avoid. Okay.
Yeah. I am duplicate these images for me to, if I am finished, I can compare this one to the old one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, with this, I can use this screen so that I can adjust the brightness of the images, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then this the direct version. I can blend this one. And if you can see.
Yes, and can you explain what you're applying here? You have a mask and you're brushing in. Is this an adjustment layer? Looks like you're using an action here. Is that correct?
Yeah. This is like a screen. Okay, this is in this one I will use a screen for it.
Okay, so you're doing a blending mode. Okay, understood.
Yes. If you can see, this is the face and this is the editing one.
Okay.
Okay. This is the part. Okay. And first, the images is so warm. So we can adjust this. Like in the camera roll. Yeah. If you can see the image is cool, right?
Right.
And I can apply this like 30 opacity or 50. So the image is now in the middle of cool and warm.
Mhm.
You can see this one. You compare to the first images. It is so blend it. So second, I will choose the first images and
Cool.
you see that one?
Yes.
Yes. I can select the highlights of the images and I can blend it.
So you have a lot of actions here that you have preloaded
Yeah.
to save you time.
Yes, as much as possible. This is for saving time, so you can now blend it manually.
Mhm.
Okay. This one, and I will mask the ceiling because the ceiling is natural white.
Okay. And just to explain what we're doing here, we have a pretty white bedroom, but he's using the
Yes.
pen tool to outline the ceiling, and he's going to, of course, make that pretty white.
Saturate it. Yes.
Yep.
If you can see, this is the base of the images. This one is edited.
Okay.
Okay. You can mask it and we can make it white. We can adjust. We can take back the colors of the lights.
So you are using a brush and a pen tool to really do every single bit of this image. So it's very intensive in regards to a specific work where you have to do this manually. Not
Okay, in this I
not
have
automatic at all.
yes, fine. In this I have this action that sharpen with.
Mhm.
I can share some images, and last I can remove the piece like cables. So I'm lagging.
Yeah, no worries.
Right. Yes. And I can use normal brush. Okay. Then from normal brush, I can do. Okay. Yes.
Okay, so
Then-
you're putting back the holes there for
Yeah.
the. All right.
Okay.
So what he's doing here is
That's
removing
it.
some wires in the background, and he just very
Yeah.
roughly kind of put back in the outlet holes.
Yes.
All right.
And the last is straightening. Okay.
You say straightening.
Use this one. So I can do it manually like this. Of this one. And burn this one a little bit.
Okay.
And that's it. You can pass that to the line. This is like natural.
Yes, it does. All right. So you didn't do window pulls here, and you do say you like to avoid doing that if at all possible.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that is possible.
And basically, what you do here is you color correct, you whiten the ceilings, you
Yes.
make sure that not too much is removed from the mask. Now,
Yeah, that's
it looks like I looked at the time when you started editing that versus when you finished, and it took you about
Yeah.
4.5 minutes to
yeah,
edit
yeah, yeah.
that
That is
piece?
too long because I am nervous. But if I am not, I'm normal. That's like 2 minutes. I can do that in 2 minutes.
Okay. No problem at all. Happy to be able to do that. Yeah, I teach people how to try to do it in 2 minutes as well.
Yes.
We do things very differently, and I try to avoid using the pin tool because it's too much labor intensive action and
Yes.
it consumes time. But I just like to see how you do it. Now, how
Yes.
many images in a day in the 10 hours that you work would you say that you can edit?
I can edit like 50 to 70 in 8 hours.
You can edit 50 to 70 images a day, you say?
Yeah. I
Okay.
did that. I was in an editor.
Sorry?
I did that before. When I was an editor, I I did that 50 images to 80 images in 8 hours in a day.
Okay. So about 10 images an hour, would you say?
Yeah. That's good.
Okay, good. All right. I'm just trying to do some calculations here. Now, one of the big questions people are going to have is, do you work for yourself or do you work for a company? And you don't have to say your company's name.
Okay, I have worked with myself because I know what I'm doing.
Mhm.
In my college life, I am always waiting for my Photoshop subject. So eventually, I just to work in this company like Photoshop and Adobe.
Okay. So you say you work for yourself and you don't work with a company?
I work with the company and myself, but I love this job, so
Right.
I can
No
do it.
problem.
Mm,
So you do work with a company. How much do they pay you for working in an average month?
it's like 500 to 600 US dollars a month plus
And how many
bonuses
and how much would
incentives.
that be in your currency?
600 USD, something like that.
Right, but how much in the Filipino peso?
27,000 pesos.
Okay, 27,000 pesos. All right.
Yeah.
And that does work out to around 462 US dollars. Okay,
Yeah.
great. And I just like to know that because sometimes photographers here in the US
Yes.
say that we're not paying enough when we are paying $1 per image, but lots of
Okay.
times we'll send out hundreds of images a day.
Yes.
But let's say you're editing, 80. You say you work 10-hour days with 10 images per hour. That's about 100. So if you were earning $100 a day, that would be an incredible amount of money for you. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
So when you're working for a company, lots of times we, as the photographers, will pay the company, as much as $1 a day. $1 an image. But you only see, $400 to $500 of that a month. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, and that's okay. I understand that some companies provide, the connection to the client, and they also help you a lot with equipment. Do you have to buy your own equipment, or does your company provide
No.
that to you?
Yeah, the company provided this equipment for me.
Okay, so they do provide you with equipment, but you get to work from home. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's very nice. All right. So I just want to clarify that, if you guys are paying your editors, $50 a day or $100 a day, they're doing very, very well. And
Yeah.
really, if we can work directly with an editor, then that seems like it would be better not only for the photographer, but for the editor as well.
That's
Is
right.
that correct? Yeah. So
Yeah, that's correct.
let's talk about that scenario. Would you rather work directly with a photographer, or is working with a photographer frustrating because we're picky and we're not very dependable, meaning we may be here today and gone tomorrow, and there's not much consistency there potentially? what do you prefer? Do you prefer working with a company or with a photographer?
If I have a chance to work with photographers, why not? Because I am almost 7 years in company, so I can do it for myself. I can edit, I can talk to people. So if I have time to work with photographers, I can do that.
Okay. All right. So if you had the opportunity, you would prefer to work with directly.
That's
Let's
correct.
Okay, so let's maybe we maybe even if you want to, may be able to put some contact information when we
Yeah.
load this video. That would not keep you anonymous, but that's a decision you can make for yourself.
Yes.
Can you tell me some of your biggest pet peeves as an editor? What can we do as photographers to help your job be easier and the results be better and more consistent?
Okay, I think the biggest problem with photographers is like moving images and incomplete shots. Because as editor, photographers need to uh, take five ambient shot and five flash for us to blend it easily. But plus they can clean the lens. I think that's easy to say, but it's a big help for efficiency.
Okay, and it sounds like, and I'm just going to repeat some of your answers to make sure everyone can understand. You're saying your
Yes.
equipment needs to be clean, your lenses need to be clean. Yeah, and what was the first thing you said there?
I think they need to pass five ambient shot and five flash.
So you prefer 5
Oh,
brackets.
yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
all
yeah,
right.
yes. Five bracket.
So that's what you choose, just so you have more variety to choose from. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, yes. That's
But
right.
but whenever you get the chance, you do just edit one of the single images.
If the images is good, and
Mhm.
that's good. I mean, it's easy to edit, but it is complicated. The five shots can take the photographers.
Right, understood. All right. So you have been working for 7 years for your company. So I imagine you've got maybe have gotten some bonuses. Tell me what it looks like if you're a Filipino wanting to get into the industry or you're looking for a job. How do you become an editor, and what is the training like? Do they teach you how to use Photoshop as a whole, or do they teach you very specific tasks so that you may not understand the
Okay.
entire software?
Okay, that's a good question. Before I enter my college life, I worked in a auto developing company. So, I can use Photoshop, but not that good. It's like a basic Photoshop. Then in my college, I took IT because, I love editing. I love changing heads of the actor and actress, and I will put my head on that.
Mm-hmm.
And in our company, they have like 3 months to process the Photoshop. I mean, they have a certificate. They have to teach you like 3 months for you to start the normal job.
Okay. So there is about 3 months of training, and they do
Yes,
look
that's
for
right.
people who have learned Photoshop in college or other schools.
Yes,
Is that
yes.
correct?
Yes,
Okay.
that's right.
All right. So you do have some official training. What are some of the lowest pays that some editors get? Like if you're brand new, you've been working there for 7 years. What does a starting pay look like for editors?
I think $360 a month.
Okay. And how many Filipino pesos there?
So really, I think if you are starting as editor, it is normally like 360 to 400 is your starting salary.
Okay, and that's how much in Filipino pesos?
Like 20,000.
Okay. All right, good. And can you give us for reference, because a lot of people across the world don't understand how much, how good of a living that is or not. 20,000 pesos a month, or $350 USD. Is that a pretty good living? How large of a family you can support with that? Is that good for a single person, or is that good for a couple or a family of four?
It's good for, a couple, like family of 7 to 8.
Okay. And how much
And
how much would you prefer to have if you were a family of four? A comfortable living, what would that look like for you?
I think if you have salary like 700 to $800, you can achieve your goal. If you want to buy some things, you can buy that. But if your salary is like 360, it's just like you're eating food every day. It's not okay.
Okay. So you really want it to be almost double 350
Yes,
USD.
yes,
You want it to be closer to 700.
yeah,
Okay. All right, that's great.
yeah,
And
that's right.
that's just good for us to know. And I know that I pay some of my editors more than 700 at USD, and I pay some of my editors less
Wow,
than 700 USD. Yeah. Um,
that's
yeah.
awesome.
So let's talk about client acquisition with the companies. Have you ever have you always been an editor? Have you ever worked with the client acquisition, the marketing team at your editing company?
I am just editor, but today I am a quality controller and I can see the client suggestion, the client reactions.
hmm So let's talk about that. So he says he's a client controller, a quality controller, and you deal with client reactions and everything else. Can you tell
Yes.
us a story about one of your worst clients, like a nightmare client, that stands out to you?
Yeah, okay. I read that the clients say this is bullshit images. And yeah, yeah, and I think it's normal. That's everywhere.
Mhm.
And to deal that, you need to be honest, you need to be transparent, because as editor, you need to invest trust from the client and vice versa. That's right. And with
Right.
that, if you have trust each other, everything will be easy on both sides, right?
Okay. Um,
Yeah.
so as a quality controller, you'll be an extra, like an ex. This is going to be great. I have some important questions to ask you that do
Okay.
frustrate a lot of photographers. Lots of times there are certain patterns of behavior we see with outsourcing companies and such. One of them
Uh,
is when we start with a new company, the quality will be very high. And then after a few orders, the quality starts to
okay.
reduce. Do you guys do that on purpose? And what's your business model there?
Okay, this is really happening. As long as the client does not complain, there is no change in quality of images. The editor will not adjust, because we have something called normal client, VIP client, and the VIP client are usually taken by the great editors.
Okay, so you guys do classify your customers based off of VIP, normal, and other,
Yeah, that's right.
um, and you treat them accordingly. Now, is that based off of how much they pay or how much they complain?
I think because that is, the company said.
Okay, can you repeat that for me one more time?
I think that's happening normal, and the client does not complain that there is a change of quality images. The editor will not adjust.
Okay,
If the client, yeah,
so do you guys keep a close track of what the client requests? For example, sometimes there will be things that need to be fixed, or they just weren't done right because the editor
yeah,
was skipping corners, right? They're trying to get things done faster and go home, I imagine. Um,
okay,
d- and then we'll make a request to you, and it
okay,
seems like you guys aren't understanding the request,
okay,
or you're not even paying attention to what we asked. Can you tell us
okay.
what happened there?
There's always a team in the department, and there's always a quality controller like me who knows better what to do. Okay,
Mhm.
I am skilled understanding instructions and checking images before handling over the client. So that's important that in a team there are quality controller.
Okay. And how many photographers do you have underneath you as a quality controller?
Oh my god, I think 20.
20. Okay.
Yes,
So if we if we send our images to your company, we get a different editor every time. Is that correct?
that's right.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, is there any way we could set up a system where perhaps we have a dedicated editor that knows what we like and edits for us every day? Is that something you guys
Yes,
would be
yes.
willing to work out? Because one of the biggest problems we have with editing companies is
Okay.
that the results are very inconsistent. And perhaps you guys teach your employees to
Okay.
edit a certain way, but that doesn't always happen for sure.
Okay. I think that is, between the photographers and the company. The photographer suggested, like you are VIP, you can take a great editors.
Okay. Now, does it cost us money to be a VIP client, or is it just communication that needs to happen?
I think yes. I think yes.
Communication or extra payment?
Yeah. I think that is have to extra payment.
Okay, extra payment. All right.
Yeah, that's
All right. So we've asked some good questions here.
okay.
Do you guys get any bonuses based on good performance? How do they incentivize you guys?
Yes, we have balls based on quantity of the images that happens always on peak season.
Okay. And I'm just asking you several questions that we've had from other
Okay.
photographers here.
Okay.
Another thing we've noticed as photographers is that you guys can do interior images quite well, but it's a bit of a
Okay.
mystery as to what happens with exterior images. Your guys' exterior images can sometimes fall off a cliff, meaning your exterior images aren't very good. How come you guys don't know how to edit exteriors when the exteriors are actually easier to edit than the interiors?
Okay. Honestly, I am really surprised in this question because for me, exterior shots is one of the easiest to do. You can use one exposure and change sky, then G.
Okay, yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. But in my experience, I would say there's a surprising amount of of editors that
Yes.
don't know how to do exteriors. All right. Do you know why that might be? Why some editors don't do exteriors well?
I think because they are blending the images.
Uh-huh.
Because I think if the first shot is was moving the plants, the trees, and the other one is also moving, the blending is not good.
Okay.
So it
All right.
yes.
All right, understood. All right. Well, I've pretty much asked all the questions that
Okay.
photographers wanted to know. You've edited a live photo for us. We've talked about how much you guys can make. If we wanted to hire real estate editors directly, is there a good place to do that? Like, I know onlinejobs.ph is a good
Okay.
place to go to. Is that
Yes.
well known in the Philippines?
Yes.
Is there any other websites you would recommend where we could possibly go online to find editors directly?
I think LinkedIn and
Sorry?
JobStreet PH. There are so many editor there.
Can you say that one more time for me?
JobStreet.
Can you sorry,
Sorry.
can you spell it?
That
Can you spell it
was
for me?
it was Job Street.
Job Street.
Street. Yeah, yeah.
Dot
Quite
ph.
sorry.
So Job
Yes.
Street. Okay, got it. Okay, good.
Thank you.
Like a street that you walk on.
Yes, yes.
Okay, Job Street. Okay, .ph. Okay. All right, so that's good. So we have onlinejobs.ph and jobstreet.com.
That's
and
right.
that's where we can do that. Another thing I've noticed is there's Facebook groups for photo editing, and you can post online in there. And sometimes, for example, I will ask a question where I ask for specific answers, and I just get hit with all sorts of spam from companies trying to look for clients. And sometimes it seems like that it's a bot, or that the person that is operating the chat doesn't understand English at any level, because my questions will be completely ignored. So, for example, I'll
Okay.
ask, hey, how much do you charge? Or something like that. And then they'll say, yes, we do very good twilight photos, sir. And then, of course, there's, hello, sir, madame. How are you doing?
Okay.
Do you guys, are you guys taught to always use the hello, sir, madame? And is the language barrier just that strong? Can you speak to that at all?
I think, speaking in other nationality was, some kind of, like me, I am afraid right now. I am nervous. I can write English, but, I can speak fluently like you.
Right. Understood. Yeah. I know that you
But
can
there
speak
is,
very well.
yeah.
But I can't speak. Well, actually, I can speak other languages, but not Filipino. That's for sure.
Yes,
Okay.
but I think if I am not understand you, I can Google it right now.
Right. Do you know when in the marketing departments,
Okay.
is there a lot of automatic messaging used, or bots, or is it really just personal individuals who don't know how to speak English, do you think?
It's just personal. I think in a company there's always a department. They have editor department, video department, and like CRO, like a call center agent.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So they really do split you guys up, and they
Yes.
make sure that you guys aren't overlapping. I imagine the
Yeah,
reason
that's
they do
correct.
that is because they don't want their editors to know how to get their own clients. Would you say that's
Uh,
accurate?
I think because as editor, you can do is editing only, and if you have if the images has as instructions and suggestions with the client, the consultant agent can can ask that instruction for us.
Okay. All right. But do you think they split the departments just so that they can keep you from, working directly with the clients?
I think so.
Hmm.
Proceed.
Okay. Here's a question, and maybe this isn't, very fair. If a photographer were to send you upload files, and in one of the images they left their email address and asked the editor to work directly,
Okay.
do you think they'll slip past the company?
I think that is a job of the call center agent.
Mm-hmm. You said that is a
If
job.
if there is any problem in the job, the call center agent can email the photographers.
Okay. All right. Okay, cool. Is there any questions you have wanted to ask us photographers?
Honestly, I don't have because I am nervous right now, and I
Okay.
think I answered all your questions.
Yes, you did, and you did a great job.
Thank you.
What do you guys feel? You guys in the Philippines, is there any natural rivalry between editors in other countries? Sometimes I have spoken with editors in the Philippines and we'll be discussing prices. And sometimes they will speak poorly of Indian editors.
Okay.
Is there a natural rivalry there?
No, I think if there is a rivalry, I can say that Vietnam.
Okay, so it's Philippines versus Vietnam then.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, cool. All right. Well, I actually prefer the Philippines myself. The reputation here is that some of the editors that you can get from closer to the Middle
Yes.
East, like Pakistan and
Yes.
Dubai, but also India, the quality consistency can be very hard to predict and it's not dependable. It does seem like the quality in the Philippines is a lot higher, and in Vietnam is a lot higher. But I just run into a lot of editing from the Philippines. Is the industry a pretty large industry over there? I know that you guys probably do a lot of virtual assistants to show
That's
to
right.
people overseas. Would you say it's how would you compare the industry? Is it something like as large as a restaurant industry, the restaurant industry in your country, or as large as the car
Mall.
repair? It's more.
As
Yeah.
like a small. Yeah, something like that because
You say it's small. That's what you said.
mall.
You say small. You say. Okay. So it's not that big. It's more of a niche. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, understood. Well, I know there's a
Because
big
we're training here, like 3 months training in Photoshop.
Okay. Yeah, I think there's a big demand for it overseas. So I'm sure you guys could open up more if you wanted to. Okay.
Yes.
Well, all right then. I think that's all the questions I have for you, man. I really do appreciate the fact that
Hi.
you were willing to do this. How do you feel about all this? Do you feel like I didn't threaten you to be on here? You were happy to do this, correct?
Again. I feel good, honestly. This is my first time to talk other nationality, so I did it.
Okay, good. Well, I'm really happy that you did it, man. And I think
Thank you.
that a lot of people will learn from this. And I think I'm going to do a second episode on this. And I want to interview a company owner if I can. So I'm going to see if I can
Okay.
find a company owner and do another.
You can do that.
Yeah, that'd be great. All right. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Smith. And I
Thanks,
hope you
man.
have a great day. And I hope the photographers make sure to give you good images with lots of brackets, clean lenses, and they don't call your images bullshit.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. You guys do a lot of good work for us, and you're a very important part of our workflow so that we can get sleep because lots of us are working all day long.
Okay.
So thank you guys. You are our sidekick, and we really do appreciate you.
Thanks so much, Jonathan.
You're welcome. Have a wonderful day.
Good day.